Training kids in good habits is a lot like teaching them to ride a bike. At first it's wobbly, eventually they get it, and sometimes you just pray they remember the brakes. The habits you repeat at home today will become your children's muscle memory tomorrow. Training kids with grace and muscle memory. In the previous videos, we've been talking about family core values, and you can watch part 1 of 2 here. But here's the truth. Thinking about values alone don't shape our kids. Habits and rhythms do. And if we don't set them with intention, life will set them for us. Hey, if you're not watching to the end, you're missing out on a super practical family habit to try. Let's build habits that build our kids and families. Hey, I'm Steve, creator of Family Rhythm and a missionary of FamilyLife Canada. And around here, we're about developing rhythms and habits that point families and kids to Jesus. Hebrews 12, verse 11 says, "No discipline seems pleasant at the time, but painful. Later on, however, it produces a harvest of righteousness and peace for those who have been trained by it." In Matthew 11, from the Message, Jesus says, "Walk with me, work with me, watch how I do it, learn the unforced rhythms of grace." Discipline, training, rhythms, grace. These aren't about rules or religion. They're about learning a way of life with Jesus that overflows into our families. Think about it this way. Your family already has rhythms and patterns. Bad times, meal times, screen time, homework, even the way arguments play out. All of it happens in patterns. And the question is, are you leveraging those rhythms to point your family toward Jesus? Or are you just trying to survive the day? All right, so I decided to invite my wife today to talk about this concept that we've introduced called muscle memory, and she has some good personal experience, and it's a concept that she's been quite familiar with, and we've used in different teaching workshops that we've done. What is muscle memory, Daph?
Well, muscle memory is one of those things that actually describes itself. It's the memory that your muscle has.
Okay,
Some people can think of things that they do automatically. I often teach it in the context of swimming.
right. Yeah,
Right.
and you've done a lot of swimming.
I've
You've
done a lot
done
of
a lot of
swimming.
high school swimming.
Mhm.
You love swimming. You've done
Yeah.
some swim coaching.
hmm And most recently, I've been teaching little kids how to swim. And sometimes I find myself wondering, how did I learn this again? It's been so long. I just do it now. And that
Hmm.
muscle memory. But yet when I teach the kids, we have to go through a pretty specific breakdown of the stroke. I have to teach them how to breathe, teach them how to place their arms, how to pull, how to kick. And oftentimes they can't think of all those things at once when they're first learning it. So we'll take it one step at a time. Like, hey, if they put their face in the water while they put their hands out of the water, then that's great. But for them to actually learn how to do the stroke, they have to do all 5 pieces.
So
And
you have to break it down for them in certain pieces one at a
Mhm.
time until they've repeated that enough to have mastered that before you put all the pieces together. Is that
Yeah,
what I'm understanding?
yeah, and that's why it takes a little bit of time. Um, why you can teach all those pieces, but putting them together is the key. And when you put them together in such a way that's successful, that's when muscle memory kicks in because they're not going to think, breathe now, right hand this, left hand that, pinky up, thumb down, kick like this. Like,
Not very efficient.
yeah, that's not going through their head anymore. I had a really interesting experience actually just recently when our family got to go on vacation.
Right, yeah.
Yeah, so I love swimming. I took the girls out to swim with me. Well, they paddleboard and kayaked, and I swam, and we got to go a pretty far distance out to some rocks and just have some girl time out there, and it was really good. But what sent us back in quicker than I had even anticipated was a storm was coming in.
Mhm. Right.
Thunder started.
I was oblivious because I was back at the cottage.
Probably taking a nap. Um, Thunder started, rain started to patter on the water, the waves started kicking up, and we're like, we gotta head in. So the girls were focused on trying to basically cross the waves because they were going one direction and we needed to cut diagonally the other. And then I'm swimming with them. And as I was swimming, I actually got nervous I started thinking like, oh,
Someone as competent
yeah.
and experienced as you even got nervous.
Yeah, so I started thinking, what if lightning starts? What if we can't make it in? What if I don't know, the waves get too big and I get too tired? And the funny thing is the whole time I'm thinking about that, I'm still swimming.
Hmm.
So I'm not thinking about how I'm swimming at all. That was complete muscle memory at that point because I had a chance to just worry about all the things that were driving me crazy at that moment.
And what I was thinking was, how much more worried would you be if you didn't have that muscle memory already in place, right? If you didn't know how to swim.
I probably would have done it the least efficient way possible
Yeah.
because that's our natural doggy paddles, everyone's favorite, but it wears everyone out.
Right. Yeah, and there's some interesting brain science in this as well
Mhm,
in terms of muscle memory. There actually is brain pathways, these neural pathways
mhm,
in your brain that when you've repeated a motion over and over again, it actually physically develops something called myelin around that pathway. Oh,
mhm,
Jax.
mhm.
And the pathway gets stronger. It's like paving a dirt pathway into a highway. And so these motions that were once hard to understand and learn
Mhm.
now become easier. And does that make sense in your swim
Yes,
lessons?
solidifies it.
Yeah.
Yeah, and I always tell kids that once they've learned to do the stroke properly, doggy paddle will never be an option for them again.
Right.
And it's pretty much the case,
Yeah.
unless they're just being fun or
Yeah.
like playing around.
Right. Would you
Mhm.
say the doggy paddle is probably the worst stroke?
It's not the
Or
worst.
slapping
It's
the
the
water, I
most
suppose?
exhausting stroke that there could. It's a legit thing. Doggy paddle's real,
Right.
but man, you can't go very far unless you're really in shape
Yeah.
with doggy paddle. I'd like to see a doggy paddle Olympics. That would be really fun. Yeah.
Nice. Not to throw you on the spot, but how have you seen muscle memory play out in terms of our family and how we develop and grow as a family?
Um, I think it might be in some of the routines that we have established.
Hmm.
For example, like I would say, us having pizza nights on a Saturday
That's been a
on the
great
weekend one.
family tradition, hasn't it? Yeah.
Yeah, and the fact that the kids can count on that, it's
Mhm.
kind of like they know it's happening and like they're teenagers, right? So to bring them to the table is always a great thing to have happen.
Yeah.
And so I look at it as they're already talking about how they want to do that with their kids. Now, some people may say, oh, well, that's just building a tradition,
Hmm.
but I believe it's become so inherent, like so
Ingrained.
yeah, ingrained and comfortable with us
Okay.
that when we first started it, like, to make the dough seemed, like, exhausting to me, or to, like, cut up all the little pieces, or, like, to figure out what everyone's favorite because everyone makes their own, right? But now everyone knows exactly how they wanna make their pizza,
Yeah.
and they can, like, whip it out, and they have their favorite flavors, and so I look at that as muscle memory because it was something new that felt a little bit laboring when we first started it, but now it's like everyone knows I set out these 5 ingredients, they know they go to it, they get it done.
I know how to roll the dough without getting my hands all sticky.
Yeah, yeah,
Yeah.
different things like that, different things like that.
Yeah.
So, I look at that as a little bit of muscle memory.
Yeah. And it's been a great point of connection for us as a
Yeah,
family, too.
for sure.
Yeah. Yeah. So that, I guess, is muscle memory in a nutshell and
Mhm,
how it can play out not only in swim lessons, but in your home with family. And
mhm.
so, yeah.
Cool, thanks for inviting me.
That was awesome. So here's the parallel: habits are spiritual muscle memory for your family. They create pathways of faith so that when life gets hard, your kids don't just know what to believe, they've practiced how to live it out. So here's your practical family habit to try this week. Choose one everyday rhythm and try to practice it daily for a week. Maybe it's your dinner time and you incorporate a practice such as asking, where did you see God's goodness today? Or perhaps during bedtime, you incorporate prayer and praying one sentence of thanks together. Or when traveling, you add and you just notice and speak an affirmation or a blessing over your child. Whatever habit you choose, work at it until it becomes automatic. Small, repeatable actions. And over time, they develop the muscle memory you need for wisdom. Hey, if this encouraged you, please hit like and subscribe for practical habits that point your family to Jesus. If you'd like to take your family to a new level, you can receive parent coaching, or your church, you can receive ministry coaching. Please check out the links below. At Family Life Canada, we're eager to bring Jesus' help and hope to families like yours so that you can know the rhythms of peace and wisdom in your home. Keep building those habits. They matter more than you think. And thanks for watching. We'll see you next time.